Pretty sleepy looking, these Cuban crocs.
No, don't be fooled. They may not be as big as other species of crocodiles, but they are mean machines when they're awake. They have got 64 teeth apiece, but they get through 3,000 teeth in their lifetime.
It's impressive. I can out-trump that. Their lifetime can be up to 75 years, almost as old as you, Kate.
Fancy a swim? Here's what's coming up on today's show. Two wacky wombats are a handful.
We don't go in the enclosure because they can get a little too playful.
But then one takes a turn for the worse.
There's nothing that we could see that was wrong with them.
It's Animal Olympics in the croc pool. But who will hit the heights?
This is so cool.
And I'm put through my patrol driving paces.
She's really
stalking, and she's now. As the big cats decide to play rough. Look at him, he's going for the tyres already. Oh, red!
It's been 4 months since Cuban crocodiles Fang and KO arrived at Longleat. Known for their jumping ability when they hunt in the wild, lead keeper John is keen to replicate that behaviour to make sure the crocs are as strong and healthy as they can be.
Absolutely incredible to see the jumping ability of them and just how agile they are, how much they can push themselves out of the water.
Well, preparations for a croc high are underway.
The only time I ever get into waders is do this.
Today we're actually looking to get them in so that we can measure up a little bit of an enrichment feeder for them. It's the jumping in the water which they're famous for. They'll jump up and get birds or mammals from trees which are overhanging the water. So yeah, we're looking at being able to get the food out into the middle of the pool and then hopefully see them jump up for it.
To measure up, Fang, KO and their teeth need to be secured out of the way by keeper James.
Right, I'm opening up.
Fang straight for the door, coming in.
Hey, Fang. Good. Hey, here's a good girl. Oh, you guys are great. Look at that, wasn't that good? Excellent.
With the jaws indoors, time to size up for John's grand plans.
We're looking at running a cable almost from one side of the pool to the other, which we can put food from and really see that full jumping ability.
Nice and tight.
The highest point of the wall's there.
That's what we need, isn't it? Like that, or that.
Jumping for their dinner will be particularly important for the smaller of the two crocs, KO.
We noticed that KO especially seemed to have not quite as muscular legs compared to Fang. She didn't quite have the same level of strength. So it'd be nice for KO to, catch up a little bit.
To help build KO up, James is training her to follow a target. And if she does, she gets rewarded with a treat.
Good.
Couch potato KO has to move for her food.
The aim at the end of the day is to get KO as basically as big and as strong as possible. Having her stronger means that she's going to be able to stand up a little bit more to Fang. She's going to be able to push her off. She's going to go, hey, come on now, let's stop. Good, very good. So yeah, KO again came straight over. She knows exactly what she's doing.
It's quickly emerging that KO has the brains, while Fang relies on brawn.
Fang has basically been following her around like a puppy, not entirely sure what the target's for. She's bitten it a few times. Did you see how high she jumped though? Oh my God, that was the highest I've ever seen her jump. That was terrifying.
Powered by their muscular tails, Cuban crocodiles are known to jump up to 2 meters out of the water.
Good.
To support the weight of a snapping croc, the feeding pulley is made from a steel cable.
Looking a bit hot around the collar there, John.
I am.
The high jump croc feeder is taking shape.
Yeah, by the time we put the prey item on, that should be pretty much bang on 2 meters.
It's almost time for these 2 cold-blooded killers to reveal just how powerful they are.
Even just seeing them jump up out of the water onto the bank is quite incredible that they've got that power. So I cannot wait. It's going to be really exciting if it all does go to plan.
Will Brainbox KO or Meathead Fang take the bait?
One of the most important, and it has to be said, scariest jobs here at the park is monitoring the big cat enclosures when they're open to the public, because the keepers have to be on red alert and have nerves of steel. Those cats are clever, they're devious, and they're very well armed. Arr! When cars enter the big cat enclosure, visitors are literally entering the wild, with only their doors and windshields separating them from the lions, tigers, and cheetahs within. Most big cats are territorial, and if they don't like sharing their space, they'll let you know. Right now, Red, the huge Amur tiger, has been the main cause of concern and has mauled visitors' cars.
He has bitten through bumpers and then bent the bonnet, and then he's actually bent the grille out as well. So in a very quick, short space of time before we can get there, he's done a considerable amount of damage.
Now the carnivore keepers in their zebra-striped trucks herd the mischievous feline away.
What have you spotted, Red?
But what does it take to become a four-wheeled big cat wrangler, especially for a complete novice like me? Well, I'm about to try out for team manager Mark Tighe, a veteran carnivore driver.
Morning.
Morning, Kate.
How are you feeling?
I'm all right.
Have you got your crash helmet?
Through a rather bizarre obstacle course with cones for trees and some fierce big cats. Talk me through this, well, the driving skills that are needed when you're working with big cats.
The most necessary thing is being able to change direction quickly.
Right.
Cats are obviously pretty agile, and they're also pretty good at coming at you, which is one of the things you need to be able to stop and go backwards quite quickly sometimes.
Right.
You have to drive with authority
Yeah.
to make them realise that you're not just one of the public.
Right, so are you going to show me how it's done?
Allegedly so, yes.
Let's see what you're made of, Tighe.
So it's just about
Yeah.
being able to adeptly move between the cones without running over
It's
your...
not like you did run it over.
Nah.
With all his experience, Mark is making this look a little too easy.
You've got to remember the cat is down the side of your door, so you can't often see them.
Right,
So you've got to be quite good at spatial awareness of where everything is. And of course, you've got public as well,
Yeah.
all driving around.
Yeah. You could say he's showing off.
And then we just do that.
Such a lad. Well, now it's my turn. Mark Tighe, that's just rude.
Okay.
Shall I just go for it and see what
I
happens?
could go for it.
Okay.
Be confident.
Okay. Whoa! Oh, I lost it.
Nearly one dead lion.
Yeah.
It's all right. He's got another 3 paws.
Oh, it's not as easy as it looks.
No, it's not. Oh, I missed the gate. Oh, that was terrible.
Okay, marks out of 10.
4.
4?
4.
It was quite nippy.
It was nippy,
Yeah.
but it was a bit out of control.
So what next then?
Do it in reverse.
Are you serious?
Now, this is where everyone makes mistakes.
Oh, no, 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 no! I'm not going to hit you.
Not necessarily about...
Oh.
Ooh.
Don't run over the leopard. Well, if the cat was real, it would have got out of the way.
It
by
would
now.
have done, yeah, or bitten your tyre off.
OK, so I've done forwards, I've done backwards. What do I need to do now?
Now, we need to do this at speed. Now, that lion at the end is about to have a go at that car's tyre, so we need to get there quickly, safely,
But on the same course?
on the same course, and stop just in front of that lion.
Right, OK. Hang on to your hat, Tighe. Let's go.
we got here.
Come on then. What did you think?
That's 2 trees,
Yeah.
1 big cat.
Yeah.
So that's 3 accident reports, 3 disciplinaries
Yeah.
fired.
Oh.
Sorry about that.
Who's going to show me around the big enclosure?
Well, I'll hand you over to the carnivore team for that.
Okay. Be scared, carnivore team. Be very, very scared. Let's go.
Over at Animal Adventure, Jean's about to meet 2 of the deadliest secretaries in the assassin typing pool. With one kick, these ninjas on stilts strike with a killer blow. 5 times their own weight in 1/100th of a second. This is Kevin and Janine, 2 secretary birds from sub-Saharan Africa. They might make mincemeat out of prey like lizards and snakes, but Keeper Amy is about to introduce them to a would-be nemesis, the humble egg.
So naturally in the wild, their diet would be snakes, small rodents, but also eggs from birds' nests. It's not something they have, so we're doing it today purely to see their reaction. Sometimes when we feed them, they don't always go for the food straight away because as far as they're concerned, you're in their enclosure, you're in their territory. So it can take them a few moments. Sometimes when we leave the enclosure, they may go to the food then. If we put a couple down here, I think if we sort of take ourselves out of this picture a little bit, it might relax them a little bit and they might go for the eggs then.
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, come on.
So will Kevin and Janine unscramble tonight's dinner?
This will be very interesting.
Okay, let's have a look. Oh, here's someone.
Yeah, Kevin.
Yeah, oh, Kevin, as you thought.
In the wild, eggs are part of a secretary bird's diet, but Kevin and Janine have never had them before. Will this be one treat too tough to crack?
Go on, Kevin, just stand on it. We either wanted to... Oh, he's actually going for it with his mouth.
It's because it is obviously an unusual enrichment for them. So before crushing it, he's just going to check that there's nothing. That's brilliant.
Yeah,
that's amazing.
Opening his feet really wide as well. Oh, he picked up and dropped it. Not using his feet as we thought he would.
Yeah, that's really bizarre. I did expect him to use his feet, but because it is a very different object for him, he's probably kind of picked it up to sort of taste and smell, and then he's dropped it, and you just see he's taken that yolk there. That's really good for him.
And he keeps bopping his head down into that yolk, so he's enjoying it. Yeah.
Kevin might have egg all over his face. Now he just has to teach Janine how to suck eggs.
High five, secretary birds.
There's been an Aussie invasion in the park. Now, the koalas may have stolen the headlines, but they aren't the only new arrivals from down under.
But these southern hairy-nosed wombats are not just a first for the park, they're a first for Europe and long awaited by Animal Adventure manager Catriona.
They're called Ellie and Deacon. They are incredible. They do look a bit like big guinea pigs, basically. And we had to actually introduce them. They'd never met before.
After more than 2 years of planning, the keepers had lovingly created an enclosure for the prospective new couple.
Yeah, we're going to grab this one. It's quite big.
Wombat numbers down under are in decline, and they're prey to a number of diseases and life-threatening illnesses. In order to breed, this pair need all the help they can get.
We need to have a few hideouts, a bit of a separation between them, so they have got the option to be away from each other if they choose to.
Right, everyone get a good grip. 3, 2, 1, go.
Oh, that's all there. Perfect. Yeah.
But the combination of a wet British winter and the wombat's favourite pastime of burrowing has turned the brand new enclosure into a mudfest.
Wombats are naturally fantastic diggers. They tend to create lots of lovely burrow systems.
Capitalising on a dry spell, the keepers are taking decisive action.
lots of activity going on. We're actually putting more substrate into our Wombat enclosure.
4 tons of sand need to be added to the enclosure as quickly as possible, as wombats and keepers are best kept apart.
The wombats actually look really cute and cuddly. They are machines. They are proper little tanks. It is incredible. We actually have a protected contact with them, which means when we're on one side, the wombats are on the other, because they'll actually just bowl you over. They won't care if you're there. They'll run into your legs and they'll take you off your feet.
It's hoped all this sand will provide better drainage and burrowing material. And female Ellie seems very excited about the upgrade.
We've got Deacon in. Deacon, good as gold, went straight in. Ellie has not. And we've got such a fine window with the weather. We've got a nice dry day today. It's really important that we do it. Ellie's actually, I think, helping a little bit. Obviously, the team are shoveling the sand over the glass, and hopefully she'll shift some of it for us as well on the other side.
As tired-out Ellie retires for a snooze, the team can get in to spread the sand around the enclosure.
Sand obviously looks lovely. It looks like a lovely, crisp Australian beach, lovely white sand. It won't last very long.
The renovation seems to be a roaring success, and the sand is flying. But it's not just the digging power that makes wombats amazing, as we'll find out later.
Everybody thinks keepers have the best job in the world, but there's one weekly task I wouldn't like to try. Kaylee, you're looking at poo?
I am.
Whose poo have you got in there?
I have currently our cheetah cub, Xena. So we're looking at intestinal worm eggs.
Worms, I get it. So just like our domestic cats at home, the big cats are susceptible to worms as well?
Absolutely, yeah.
Animals can pick up a multitude of parasites, from tape to roundworms. But if left untreated, they can lead to brain, liver and lung damage, and can be fatal.
Have you got some worms there?
I do. Would you like to see them?
Do I want to see them?
I think you do want to see them, absolutely. Here you go.
Wow! Oh, that is a long worm. Where did this come from?
So that was from one of our lions.
Got some more over there. What's that?
This is from a zebra.
Oh, these are even worse. I'd love to see this poo. Closer. Can I have a look in
Absolutely,
here?
absolutely. Right in the centre there is a little sort of oval-shaped thing.
Okay, is this an egg?
It is, yes. So a worm will eventually be hatching from that.
So this confirms to you that Xena has worms,
She
basically?
does.
All you have to do now is medicate her?
Absolutely.
Brilliant. Well, that's been really interesting, but I think I'll leave you to it. Yeah.
Across the park, a jaw-snapping Olympics is about to get underway.
Cable's up, pretty much ready to go. John's just sorting out the chicken, getting that all hooked up.
There's a buzz in the air as Cuban crocs Ko and Fang re-enter the swamp.
The atmosphere is electric. Everyone's anticipating some pretty amazing performances from these two stellar young athletes today.
Cuban crocodiles are famous for their high jump skills in the wild. But will these two get anywhere close to the 2 meters their species is reported to jump?
I am gonna probably say 1.5 meters. I'd be happy with that. Anything higher than that, I'll be over the moon. Anything lower than that, I'm gonna be completely and utterly devastated. We want them really working, really using as much power as they can possibly muster.
Bets are in on whether it'll be smart cookie Ko or fearless Fang who'll jump the highest.
I'm going for KO. I think I always like a bit of an underdog story, so I'm going to go for the smaller, the weaker. I think this is her moment. This is her moment to shine.
Fang being the bigger, the more powerful, the more dominant. She's going to show KO everything that she could be.
So I'm going Team Fang today. I think she is going to rock it.
It might be KO. I think she's really, really quick.
Fang is bigger, she has a size advantage, but KO's a bit faster, so I think she might surprise us at the last minute.
Crocodile's eyes are especially adapted to spot prey as they lurk in the water. The fearsome predators spot the carcass.
Here we go.
Come on.
Thrusting with her tail, Fang launches herself towards the prey.
Okay, so that was a 1.8 to begin with.
What's KO got in her tank?
Here we go.
Come on.
No. KO was a quite disappointing, maybe 1.6. I'll give her that.
Here we go, here we go.
Fang now. Oh. So that was probably 1.85. So she actually touched the head there. Go for the leg, go on. This is so cool.
Fang is getting so close.
Go on.
She just needs to get that leg.
Their killer instincts are kicking in, but KO's just not as powerful.
Another one from KO.
Yes!
Oh my right, word. There we go. Fang's got it, as I thought.
An indisputable high jump champion has emerged. She's trounced the opposition. But glory leaves Fang with another problem. KO's a bad loser.
But KO's going to try and take it from her, and this is perfect. This is what we want to see.
This underdog is not going to let a whole chicken slip away without a fight. KO steals the meal from Fang's grasp.
One of them do the showing off and wasting all that energy, and then KO's got the prize at the end. So maybe the smarter of the two. So brains win, I suppose, possibly.
If you're measuring it by portion size rather than altitude, they certainly do.
I think what's happened here is Fang felt sorry for her because those jumps were just pathetic. But KO's taking the whole prize there.
As a reward for her aerial feat, Fang gets a chicken as well.
Fang just took the majority of the carcass and literally with a single thrash of her head, the whole thing pretty much disintegrated. So they're just showing how much force they have in their necks, how much force they have in their jaws, just obliterated it.
It's been an incredibly stimulating feed, not just for the jumping crocs, but for James and John too.
I think we're the winners.
We're the winners,
I think we're the
yeah.
winners, because that was just incredible. To see them show that behaviour and just to get so close, absolutely amazing. To see the animals that you care for every day just do something completely different and get that adrenaline going.
Earlier, I underwent a patrol driving lesson with team manager Mark Tighe.
No, I'm not going to hit you.
I must have done something right, as I'm about to drive on my first ever patrol.
Now that I'm standing by a real patrol vehicle, I'm beginning to feel a little bit nervous because this damage was done by a lion. That was Sundari, a tiger, taking a chunk out of it. More lion damage over here. And follow me here because this is what the teeth and claws of a lion can do to solid metal. I cannot mess up.
I really can't, because my first driving venture heads straight into the lion's den.
Second section lions have a reputation, don't they?
They have a bit of a reputation, yeah. I'd probably say they're the hardest to patrol out of the animals we've got.
Oh, and this is a great place for me to start.
Yeah, I think so.
Thankfully, I'm with lead carnivore keeper Caleb, who's been a patrol driver for 7 years.
This is, I have to say, slightly nerve-wracking, driving through here, seeing lion everywhere I look. Look at them all!
I'd try and find yourself a position where you can face them, so you can see them out of the front of your truck, and try and have them all in front of you.
Yeah.
Because if you have one behind you, it'll probably start plotting against you, possibly. So the key to patrolling lions is to relax. These guys pick up on distress and fear.
Even if you're in a truck?
Even if you're in a truck, because they know how to spot weaknesses and they know what's a confident position and what's not. Because you're sat here in a position where you're able to cope with anything that they throw at you, they're not interested in you. Initially, when you drove through and they were trying to...
They looked like they were sizing me up,
so they were trying
honest.
to size you up a little bit. Basically, they were trying to see what you were made of.
Right now, this pride looks relaxed, but the visitor gates have just been opened.
Now, we've got visitors coming in now. Is this where you really need to watch them and see how they react to the car?
If they all start focusing on one car with their ears and their all heads are in that direction,
Right.
that'll give you an indication that that car's got something about it that they don't like.
Okay.
And then they start to shift their body weight so they're in a position to run off.
Yeah.
So the body weight goes onto their legs and their front feet. And then just before they charge or run at a car that they don't like, there will be a tail flick or a tail movement.
And right on cue.
So something is caught there.
Oh, something has caught their eye. They're all, exactly like you said, they're all looking in one direction.
Yeah, so it might just be the VIP truck behind us. There's definitely something behind us.
There's something going on.
One lioness is the main cause of concern.
That's Jazeera.
Okay.
And it doesn't get along with the lions in the paddock down there.
Separated by a fence, the park's 2 main lion prides are split between 2 enclosures. Each pride is at least 9 lions strong, and territorial tension and aggression can break out between the rivals.
Just now,
Yeah,
I've got
I think
two
we'll just
moving.
follow her.
Shall we?
And see what she's doing, because she might be going towards...
Now, I've got a conundrum here, because I've got one going in one direction and one going another. Which way do you
I
think-
would go to the left, because I think she's gone that way to get some cover to then run down the paddock towards the other group of lions. So
She really is stalking. She's in full stalking
So
mode.
she's in full stalk mode, so if we just keep an eye on her, she's going to charge that fence.
To make matters worse, a stream of visitors' cars now lie between Jazeera and the other pride of lions she's trying to reach.
If we go down to the road and then we can see if she's going to negatively interact with any of the cars on the road.
A full-grown lioness can weigh almost 300 pounds and charge at 50 miles an hour. I need to move ahead of Jazeera and block her reaching the cars and the rival lions.
This is where your driving skills come in, because we've got cars behind us, cars in front of us, cars all around us.
And lions, and oh my goodness, suddenly I feel a little bit overwhelmed.
Yeah.
But this game of cat and mouse has only just started. More players are about to join the hunt.
Over in Koala Creek, Keeper James is about to introduce Jean to the park's new pair of southern hairy-nosed wombats. But she might have to keep her distance.
I am looking forward to meeting these two, but I've heard they're pretty fierce.
Yeah, we've definitely got our hands full. Yes, you've got Deacon straight in front of you.
Ah, this is the famous Deacon, okay.
Yes, indeed, and Ellie's just over there, just coming over now.
I have to say, they're so cuddly and cute.
They do appear it, don't
Yeah.
they? Yes.
But looks can be deceptive, right?
Definitely. We don't go in the enclosure, and that's just because they can get a little too playful. And their playful, unfortunately, involves a bit too much teeth. which may result in myself getting a little injured. So yeah, we prefer to leave them to it and just play with each other.
Tell me about these two then, do they get on?
Yes, you've got Ellie, she's a lot more kind of a loner. She likes wandering around and doing her own thing. Unfortunately, Deacon is the live wire, so he's still growing up, he likes playing, and unfortunately that does involve occasionally trying to play with Ellie when she doesn't want to. So you may hear a few squeaks coming from her occasionally. That's just purely her just saying, I don't want to play right now, stay away.
Back off.
Yes, exactly.
And they are built like tanks. They look like solid little units.
They are. So if I had to describe them like another animal, it would probably be a little bulldog.
Really?
They are solid little animals, and with them they have that amazing back end. So their bum, it slants off, and that is armoured plating. So that's how they defend themselves in the wild against things like dingoes. So they would run into their warrens, stand in the entrance, the dingo's going to try and go over the top of them, and they slam their bum straight into the roof, trapping the dingo between the roof and the bum, defending themselves from getting eaten.
They're just kind of pottering about in here. Do they ever go for a little run around the enclosure?
So both Ellie and Deacon in their species can reach actually around 40 miles per hour.
40 miles per hour?
Exactly, that's pretty much, well, that's faster than Usain Bolt. So they are super speed. They can also jump about knee height also. So they've got a bit of a spring and a leap in their step. So yeah, we've definitely got to keep an eye on them.
And we've got a boy and girl here.
We have
so
indeed.
often on the park, you know what that means?
Wombats are actually one of the harder animals and species to breed in captivity, but we are very hopeful.
As James said, getting wombats to breed can be difficult, but young Deacon and Ellie have been getting to know each other. And there are signs that wombat love is in the air, as manager Catriona knows.
So at times, Deacon can be a little bit more overexcitable, should we say. He can often come into Ellie's space.
As Ellie defends her burrow with the tough cartilage plates in her rump, Deacon has begun to bite her. But all is not as it seems. These are love bites.
At times that can look a little bit aggressive, but it's actually a courtship. It's actually saying, come on, let's have some fun.
These are the only southern hairy-nosed wombats in Europe. Their wild cousins are threatened by habitat loss and parasites, so this is a fantastic development for this rare species.
Hopefully within the future we will have some surprises on our hands. The first baby wombat in the UK to be born. It'd be amazing.
In the big cat enclosure, it's my first time on patrol driver duties, and there's trouble. One aggressive lioness, Jazeera, is trying to stalk a rival pride of lions. In the way, a line of visitors' cars. Under Keeper Caleb's guidance, I've positioned my truck in front of the cars and the fence, separating the competing prides.
She's sort of getting ready to spring almost.
No, don't you dare.
And now a few more cats are in the game.
She's been joined by the other girls.
Yeah.
She's going in to tackle head on when they've chased her down.
So what do I do now?
She's going to run across and she'll go down into this bit.
Here, there's others coming down. If I stay back here, just make sure they all head the way they should.
Yeah.
So are they basically now thinking, you know, we've had a bit of a game, but actually it's bedtime, we're going to
Yeah.
I'm quite tired. That was quite tiring.
Yeah. Yeah, it is, yeah. Time flies and you're just constantly
really
worried.
does. It was amazing.
You've mastered sort of the day-to-day patrolling.
Okay.
And obviously the next big challenge is to do a feed-up.
For a patrol driver, a feed-up is no picnic in the park. Lots of big, hungry cats, all in a state of ravenous excitement. Luckily, I'm with Amy, head of carnivores, and a top driver to boot. So, Amy, we are now entering tiger territory. I think this is the bit I'm scared of most of all, because Red is a bit of a terror, isn't he?
He is. He's a character, that's for sure. It's a bit of a challenge.
4-year-old Red and his mate Yana are the park's newest Amur tigers.
Now, who is that Red right here?
So that is Red.
Oh my goodness, he looks enormous.
He does.
He's just got extraordinary presence. Hasn't he?
And he's waiting for that feed wagon.
The park's tigers have taken some big territorial bites out of the trucks and the feed tractor tyres before.
Look how high he is.
Oh my
He's getting
goodness,
there,
look at that.
Look at him, jumping.
Whoa.
Yana's come out, look, she's just...
There's Yana, okay. Oh my goodness. Wow, look at her go.
She's running.
Let's go straight for the truck,
slightly.
Forward, okay.
Dinner's arrived, but will Red have good table manners?
Look at him, he's going for the tyres already. Oh, Red!
Apparently not.
So the meat's out.
So yeah, so he got pushed off because he was quite close to the tyres there. So
right, Yana taking her chunk.
Now for the smallest cats in the park.
I imagine, although I might be wrong, that the cheetahs are a little bit more relaxed than the lions and the tigers.
They are.
Yeah.
But what we've decided to do today as part of their training is drive around a bit more in the section and see how much they chase.
Okay, so this is a first.
This is a first. Throw you in there. To see them opening up the slider now.
Yeah.
They'll learn.
Yeah. You can see them running?
Yeah, you can see them running. Great.
There they
look
go.
at him.
Oh, my
That's
goodness.
a cub. That's a cub. So they get a little bit wary when they get a bit closer to it.
Yeah.
So you can see they're slowing it. Oh, that's fantastic.
On a hunt, cheetahs reach speeds of over 60 miles an hour before they pounce and bring down their prey.
Looking a little bit like she might want to go for a tyre.
Yeah, we might want to get a little bit closer just in case. Try and stop that cub from going towards the tyres and just push it towards the end of the tractor a little bit if we can. Perfect, perfect.
Good girl.
And then hopefully, now that's it, and then they can chase after behind again.
Suddenly, you're the ones causing me all sorts of chaos.
Sometimes being in the driver's seat does have its advantages.
Oh, that is absolutely fantastic. I feel like I'm almost running with them. Wow.
This is where they normally
Oh
get
yeah,
fed.
meat's coming out now.
So by the looks of it, one of the cubs has stolen Wilma's piece, or
that's right, yes.
she's put it down.
She's put it down for them.
Because she's gone to get the other piece.
They say something difficult is like herding cats. Well, now I know exactly what that means.
Oh, that was such an incredible experience. Thank you so much.
Oh, pleasure. No, you did a great job.
Behind the scenes in Koala Creek, Keeper James is on Wombat breakfast duty. But today, there's only one meal being served. Over the last few days, the keepers noticed some concerning behaviour from male Deacon.
The other day, we came in first thing in the morning, and we noticed that Deacon was slightly off sorts. Usually he's quite a boisterous little chap.
They immediately informed Head of Animal Adventure, Graham.
He was really flat, but he didn't show any discomfort, he didn't show any pain. There was nothing that we could see that was wrong with him, other than the fact he just didn't have any life or energy in him.
But despite antibiotics and fluids, 3-year-old Deacon rapidly deteriorated.
Sadly, he just wasn't stimulated to eat at all. Literally 2 days after, where we came in first thing in the morning, and sadly he had passed away in the night.
Deacon had been in the prime of his life.
He was fighting fit and incredibly, incredibly healthy little individual. Made the journey all the way from Australia. We'd managed to integrate him in with a girl, which is quite difficult to do, and they were getting on like a house on fire. Public loved him, staff loved him. So it was a real shocker, actually.
To find out what had happened, the keepers arranged an autopsy.
We found that his intestines were in an absolute mess. The vet described it as concertinaed.
Deacon had died of a strangulated gut.
According to the vet team and the research that we've done since then, it is a condition that is known in wombats. It's a condition that is known in humans and dogs. Sadly, one that is incredibly difficult to diagnose and incredibly difficult to fix.
The young Wombat had only been at the park for 6 months, but he'd made a real impact.
He was an absolute lunatic. He was amazing. He wasn't fazed by anything. He was the most confident little guy you've ever met. He was an absolute legend.
For Graham, who spent 2.5 years planning for their arrival, it's particularly hard.
They all have their characters, but some animals are just, I don't know, they just catch you in a different way.
These animals are literally our lives. We look after them every single day. We see them more than our families. We see them more than our pets. It's absolutely devastating. There was nothing to be done. We couldn't help him. To a certain extent, you always kind of feel that you've failed. Yeah, so it just stays with you.
You always remember the special ones. You get me one. He set me off.
Deacon will be missed. But now the team's thoughts are focused on Ellie's future.
We've just got to, go look for the future, really, and the future is to look after her and keep her healthy and keep her strong.
Wombats are a solitary species, so Ellie is coping without Deacon. But Graham's hopes for the pitter-patter of tiny paws aren't entirely over.
Graham, I'm so sorry you've had such a tough time. It's been devastating for all of you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it's not been the easiest time, but yeah, we look to the future, and we still got Ellie, and she's strong and doing well.
Now, obviously, when Ellie and Deacon arrived here, there was a hope that they would mate together. Is there any chance that happened?
We were hopeful, fingers crossed, but no, I don't think in reality he's probably managed it. So she's fine. She's actually doing quite well on her own at the moment. They can live quite solitary, so she's more than happy. And then we'll see if we can find another male.
How easy is that? I mean, I assume it's a little bit more difficult than just making a call and saying, anyone got a male wombat?
Yeah, I mean, to say that she is the only southern hairy-nosed wombat in Europe probably sums it up, really.
Yes.
So we're having to look to our American and Australian partners at the moment, and yeah, a lot of big borrowing and stealing, I think, to please ask them for a young male to match her.
We'll help do a raid, won't we?
Well, I was going to say Tinder doesn't work down here, I don't think.
No, I don't think there is one for wombats. No.
Well, Graham, as I say, she's looking pretty good, and I know you'll give her lots of tender, loving care.
Absolutely.
Thank you very much indeed. Sadly, that's all we've got time for on today's Animal Park, but here's what's coming up on the next programme.
There's tragic news in tiger territory.
Part of me is so jealous of your job, but goodness, it doesn't go without heartbreak, does it?
Not at all.
Will the new arrivals jump ship in their recolonisation of Gorilla Island?
We're going to substantially increase the amount of electric we have around the outside, so hopefully they won't want to go anywhere near the edge.
And Jean's in for a close encounter of the creepy, crawly kind.
He's heading for my sleeve, James.